Oh, what's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying your weekend. In today's video, we are going to be conquering the Build with Creator Studio challenge. At least trying. So, this challenge requires us to set up a PDI, build an application using Creator Studio, and then sharing it by providing a 300-word description, a video, or an infographic that explains how it works, and also our experience using Creator Studio. So I decided to make it video to try and cover description and the experience sharing in one take. So let's quickly find out what we need to do. I have never worked with Creator Studio yet, so I will be doing it as a complete fresher. So I presume we need to go here and type Creator Studio to open Creator Studio in App Engine Studio. I have already made some preparations, but basically if you are going to start you can click Create App, give the name of the application and its description, and also provide application ID. I have already done this to spare some of your time, and I will quickly explain what my use case is. So let's imagine that we have a corporate restaurant and we would like to add a feature to our service catalog which will allow our employees to book tables in this restaurant. They will be providing date, number of guests under 14 years old, probably kids. Table preference could be inside, outside, or near the window. Special requests like dietary needs. And they will be able to tell if they need to be added to wait list if restaurant is fully booked. The form builder has three sections: the content section in center, the form elements which you can build your form from, and the right is where the element details could be seen. I really like the experience. It's pretty fast and neat looking. However, I think that in the future there will be more available elements for us to tailor our form for our needs. However, even now we have a lot of options. We can control our layout with the 1 or 2 column sections, use divider headings or rich text to provide any additional information. We can use the most useful fields like single line text, drop downs, checkbox, dates, date time, question set, etc., etc. I have made a pretty simple form, again, as I mentioned at the beginning. So let's just not linger here any longer and switch to automations, where basically all the fun happens, because we need to do something after we submit the form. So let's wrap it up by clicking Mark as ready. Takes a bit, but then you will get a notification that your form marked as ready. Perfect. Now we are ready for the automations. On the automations form, we see that we provide an automation in the form of a playbook, which we are yet to create. Let's press on it. Let's name it somehow. We'll call it Restaurant Booker Playbook. Then specify the trigger. We have to operate on the submission of the form. There are other options like submission updated, or form submitted, or submission updated. Let's create it. All right, so we have a nice looking canvas where we can tailor our flow. There is a trigger and the end of the flow and the fulfillment steps. So first of all, when we submit the form, we don't need to send email to the requester because it will be done automatically. Do not waste your time here and perform the actions that you want after, right? And for us, the first action would be actually to confirm whether this booking could be processed or should be rejected for a rescheduling, right? We can add one of the 5 currently available actions, and we can do it 2 ways. Use a create task to create a task for our group to manually connect with the user. But we maybe don't need to use this functionality because there is a request approval, which we can use to approve or reject the booking request. Another way would be to send an email, but it anyway kind of requires us to build a condition. So the email would be sent to the user, asking them to contact the restaurant. But nobody does this. The restaurant calls back. Otherwise, it's a bad service. It's already a bad experience for the user when user is required to do something. All right, let's go for request approval. We can call it confirm booking request. And we will assign it to a special group, which is called corporate restaurant team. Anyone can approve. The condition for the start will be when playbook starts. Save it. Perfect. Now let's add the next, which will be a decision. So we basically need to check if we approved, then we do this. If not, then we do this. Okay, then let's add a decision. Let's save. Now, as soon as we save it, we have 2 branches. First branch is when the condition was fulfilled, and the other one, all other cases. So let's open this condition. Let's call it confirmed yes, and let's add the condition. I presume we need to somehow refer to the confirm booking request step and get the, probably state. Let's check it. Oh wait, what am I seeing? Doesn't really look like something that is reflecting the typical approval states, which is requested, approved, cancelled, or rejected. Let's check. Maybe we need to check the outputs. All right, approval state looks great. Let's check it. Oh, empty. What the hell? Oh, how am I supposed to get the approval state? Okay, let's think. So we are approving the record, right? The approval is attached to the record then. Let's try, maybe there is an approval field on the record. And it is. Let's see if we have, yes, and we have the approval states here. Let's select approved, save. Now we have our branch created. Let's create a notification for the user saying that unsaved. Oh, sorry, saved. Let's create a notification for the user saying that the booking request has been confirmed. We'll send it to a requester. Subject will be booking has been confirmed. Thank you for your booking request. We hereby confirm it and we'll be expecting you. All right, let's save it. So as you can see, the elements have been numerated according to the order we created them. Let's see what happens if I change the order and make this booking confirmation start when playbook starts. Let's save it. Okay, so now it was relocated here, but nothing else changed, right? The numbering is same, only the flow is now screwed up. Let's check if we can push approval after the confirmed. Wow, and we can. And according to the numbering, I am now completely lost. This is probably one of those things that maybe should be adjusted for the future. Maybe the numbering should be changed, like from left to right or something, because it could be pretty confusing for people, especially if the automation is big. Yeah. Anyway, let's put it all back if we can. So playbook starts. Booking confirmation after specific activity. Yes, confirmed. All right, sounds good. By the way, the reaction time and the overall experience is great. It looks pretty cool. All those components and the interaction with them. So how we can bring it back to the main flow. Let's try and drag and drop. Oh, okay, it works. Sounds cool. Amazing. Wow. Cool. Now we are confirmed. Booking confirmation. And we are back on the flow. So after that, the flow will end and we may probably we will also need to inform, let us check, to requester. You see, no one else. But what we maybe probably need to inform the assignee so that the assignee could close the task, right? And unfortunately, it looks like we cannot have access to the variables, right? So we can just, for example, on this step, we are able to specify the group, but on the email, we really need to specify maybe a group email would be an option, or I don't know. But I was kind of expecting that we will be able to access the variables we provide on the form as well. Because, for example, here on the decision step, do you remember we had this checkbox, add me to the waitlist if fully booked? I would maybe change the logic a little bit and check also if I was if the user specified that he wants to be or she wants to be in waitlist. And if I come here and I, for example, open the condition, I cannot see the variables of the form, right? Normally it should be like form variables, and in form, in the flow designer, you can use a special action which allows you to get catalog variables and then work with them. And in this case, you cannot do this. I think that's what limits the usefulness of the automation to some extent. Anyway, so if we confirm the booking, the confirmation will be sent to the user. Perfect. If not, then I don't really want to create another task, but let's do it. We can make a task for the group. Corporate restaurant team, moderate, and they need to contact user and reschedule booking. So maybe before that, we can also just save it. Maybe before that, we can also add a notification sent to the user, right? Requester. Saying that the booking was rejected. And we will be telling that our employees will contact you soon for soon to reschedule your booking. Perfect. Improving the user experience. All right, now it looks good. So we trigger, we submit a booking request. We confirm it or reject. And if we reject it, we inform user, and then we create a task for our restaurant team to get in touch with the user and then to reschedule the booking. So after that, they can close the task, or maybe it will be closed automatically. I don't know. All right, sounds good. Let's activate this automation. Was it activated? Or am I dreaming? Okay, come here again. Let's refresh. One moment. All right, it was activated. Now we just need to... Was it? Okay. Now we just need to... Okay, let's deactivate it again. Then let's activate it. Maybe there will be some... Okay, now it's active. You can see it here. Now we need to submit this application for a review and basically publish it. Let's click. Oh my God, what is this? This is no pipeline available. What the hell should we do? So in your PDI, there are obviously no pipelines configured. On ServiceNow, they have a pretty good documentation which explains how to do this. Just look for ServiceNow pipeline creatorstudio. I will show you how to do this quickly. So we can come here, open all, search for pipelines. First of all, we're gonna need to have a credentials alias for that. And we also need a functional user which will be handling the pipeline. So we need to open the user list and create a user. ServiceNow suggests something like pipeline runner. We don't have it, so let's create. Let's submit it. I will give this user admin permissions just to save your time. Otherwise, according to the best practice, you only need to give the user the permissions that this user requires to fulfill its duty. Now I will also mark the internal integration and web access, service access only to limit, to disable, deactivate interactive session logins, interactive logins. Now we need to create a password. Let's copy it, save it. And now we need to create credentials, credential alias. Let's create new, come here, and let's say pipeline credentials. Now let's change the type to credential and save it. Perfect. Now I think we need to create credential alias, I think. Yeah. Select basic auth credentials. Call it, according to the documentation, we should call it, or I can call it pipeline credentials. You can call it whatever you want. Username is pipeline runner, and the password which we copied, then save it. Now we have the credentials associated with our alias. Now we need to go to pipelines of the app engine, open it, create new. Then let's call it default pipeline. Pipeline type is typically application deployment. You can have some other types if you want. Please refer to the documentation. Now we are hanging for some reason. Yeah. Source environment. You do not have any source environment, so we need to create one. Let's create it. Let's call it default environment. Instance type will be development. Instance credential, you remember? We need to create this instance. We need to provide instance credentials. Oh, wait. Default pipeline. Just wait a second. So let's check again, credential alias. Yeah, the credential alias should be in the scope where the records will be created. And the records will be created in task table, and this is global scope. Yeah, sorry for that. Complications all the time. Pipeline credentials. Credentials, submit. Now let's open them again. Let's create credentials. Basic pipeline credentials, username. Pipeline runner, password. I need to change it again. Copy, saved. Let's save it. All right, now let's go back to pipelines. Create new. Default pipeline. application deployment, source environment. Yeah, now we should see the pipeline credentials. And let's call it default environment. Instance URL, I presume we need to use this. And now we need to validate. As soon as you validate, the instance ID will be generated automatically. Now submit. And now let's activate our pipeline. Then we also need to associate the pipeline with the pipeline environment. And I think now we are good to go. Let's check it. Let's press submit for review. And yes, we are good to go. Now we can submit it for review. Run on production. Yes. All right. Basically, the application should now be available. All right, let's test it. I'll go to Employee Center. I'll use my customly made widget to search for it in the service catalog. But as you know, you will be able to find the generated associated catalog item in your catalog items. Yeah, book restaurant table is here. If you want to use this widget, you can go to share developer ServiceNow. And just look for Catalog Item Explorer widget. It will be available for you, and you can use it and install in your environment. All right, we found it. Let's open. Here is our form. Looks great, amazing, I would say. Now let's book us a table for next Friday, 18 o'clock. 2 guests. Window seat. Special request, none. Add me to the waitlist if fully booked. Perfect. Submit. And we can see that our task was created. Now, we have our good old Beth ready to step in for action. Let's impersonate her. Let's open the request. How it's called? Request for workspace. Requester. I don't remember. Anyway, in the list, we can go and check the tasks assigned to her, assigned to my group. and we do not see it because we have a pending approval. Let's open the approval. We can actually open the task. Okay, I cannot open the task. Okay, let's... What was the engine request? Workspace. The workspace to access this type of records is called... Probably I need to go back. I don't remember. Yeah, we can do it. It's called request app workspace. And from here we can see that there is this request open. There is an approval associated with this request. We will help Beth and approve it for her. And now we can go and check emails. Because we approved it, we should be able to see exactly the notification telling the user that it was approved. And here is our text. Thank you for your booking request. We hereby confirm it and we'll be expecting you. Perfect, it works. Yeah, now what I really do not understand, so we approved it. There is just a notification afterwards. And there is actually no way to close the task automatically from this automation. So the Beth should be closing it. And actually there is no way to assign it. You can assign the notifications or the or tasks which you create from the automation, but the task itself looks like it cannot be assigned. Okay, I mean, if we are not going deeper, because these things could be fixed, of course, afterwards, but without code and without going to platform UI, this is as far as you can get, I presume. So in this case, we can just close this request, and our mission is now fulfilled. I hope you found this session interesting. It's a bit longer, but the experience is very useful, I presume. So in this case, I wish you a nice weekend and a great week. Bye-bye.